Hey guys, another wonderful video from me. This one I'm going to be installing an SCCM server. Now this will be a completely standalone SCCM server. It won't be split amongst all the other different components that you would see in production. I will even also try and include installing the Jamf SCCM plugin with the certificate and stuff like that. So I have a Windows server here. It is running Active Directory LDAP only. So as I can open up the server manager there, see it's just running ADS and the associated DNS. So SCCM has lots of different bits and pieces as well, so that's why I've got my shared folder here with the installation media that I'll go through. But we'll get to that in a moment. First we need to do a couple of prep steps. So the first one is we need to open this thing called ADSI. So I'll go to the start menu and we'll go administrative controls and you'll find it in here. We're going to right click on this and go connect to, leave everything as a default, and it should pick up the default domain, which is my jamfpro.services. And inside this we've got all these wonderful built-in things. Go into system here, we're going to right click and we're going to go new, and we're going to do a new object. Now the new object is going to be a container. We'll go next, and the value is going to be system management, exactly like that. SCCM actually looks for this, so we need to type it out just like that. We go next and we'll go finish. Now, we don't need to do anything else in here, so we'll close this, and what I'm going to go to now is I'm going to go to my Active Directory users and computers. I'm going to go to the view button at the top here, and I'm going to say advanced features. I'm going to right click in here. I'm going to go into system, and we should see our system management appear here, which it is. I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to go properties. I'm going to go to security, and if the machine is not already on here, which it isn't, I'm going to go add. I'm going to add in my computer. So change the object type to the top here. Look for computers. We can untick everything else if we like. And we'll type in the name of this machine. Now I call this machine, got properties here, this is called SCCM, so I should be able to search for that. SCCM, check the names, and I found it. And I'm going to give permissions for this full control. In a production environment, what you would be doing this on the AD server, you would be finding the SCCM server and giving it full control over that. Go apply. And go to the advanced here. We're going to click on this and we're going to edit, and we're going to change the applies to this object and all descendant objects all the way down. Close that. Oh, that didn't apply. Why didn't that apply? Where's my save button? There we go. Just hit the enter button. Windows is fun. We'll go apply there, and we'll go OK, and we'll go OK. We can close this here now. Now we go back to our server manager, and we're going to start installing some services. So go to manage here, we're going to add roles and features. Make this a little bit smaller. I'm going to select my server here, and I'm going to install web services, or IIS. I'm going to add the features, and within the features here I'm going to turn on both .NETs and also I'm going to turn on BITS, Background Intelligence Transfer Service. And if you scroll down a bit, we're looking for another one, which is remote differential compression. Okay, we're going to configure some components specifically for IIS. So these will be our basic auth. So if we scroll down here, we're looking for basic authorization. There it is, basic authentication, and my apologies. We're going to do IP and domain restrictions. We're going to do URL authorization. We're going to do Windows authorization, authentication, everything within application development. Oh, add features. Just tick. These are always fun. Just going to tick all of these. Yep. And all the ASPs, all the application developments. Just make sure I'm not doing anything else. Yep, all the management tools. Expand out the management capability. Yep, and we'll tick all of these as well. We probably don't need all of these, but I found it's just better to have them in the event we don't need them. I do not know SCCM as well enough to know what to tick and non-tick, so I've just found these ones to be the best. We're going to go next. Now, to make this install a little bit faster, we can actually specify an alternate source path. So if I go to my virtual machine settings here, and I go to my CD drive, I can connect to my ISO. There it is there. So I can specify an alternate source path, and I name the path for the server. So if I go to Explorer here, right click on this and I go open, go into sources, SXS, should be able to right click and copy this, paste it in here. Just makes it that a little bit faster. Alright, and we're going to go install. Now, depending on your box, this will take a little bit of time, so I will pause it there and resume it when the install has finished. Okay, our installation is finished here now, so we can close this. Don't have to do anything just yet, so we'll close this here. Now we'll go to our installation media. This will be on the Dropbox as well, so you can use it whenever you need it. Now, this is just on a shared folder, so what I'll do is I'll drag this onto server. Okay, so we've got our installation media here. So what we're going to do is we're going to mount the SQL full ISO. So we're going to mount this. We're going to this PC. Should be appearing here shortly. Sorry, there was a problem mounting the file. Well, there wasn't. It's here. And we'll run the setup. Okay, so we're going to go ahead here. We're going to install a MySQL standalone installation. Okay, it's going to run its checks. We're going to go OK. It may ask you to install an update. I've already run it on my one here. Check for updates. There are no updates for SQL. That's just not true, but anyway. I'm installing my setup files here. Alright, so we've got a couple of warnings here. This server is a domain controller, and we haven't done any firewall rules. Don't have to worry about these though. So we'll go next. We're going to do an evaluation, set the license terms. We're going to do a feature installation now. This is where we choose what is going to be installed as part of the SQL. So we're going to do a database engine service. We're going to scroll down and we're going to do client tools connectivity, and we're going to do management tools basic. We go next. Okay, we'll say where we're going to install it. Do some server configuration things here now. So we're going to change our startup types to be automatic for all three, and for this database engine, the middle one here, we're going to change this from MS SQL Server to be network service. You just search for network, you should find the network service account. Also, very important, click on this collation tab. We're going to change the database engine. We're going to customize this, and we're going to look for SQL _Latin. So we'll just click on this SQL correlation here for backwards compatibility. Okay, we're looking for SQL underscore Latin 1 underscore general underscore CP1 CIAS. So the second one here. Okay. Go OK for this one. We're going to go next. We're going to do it to our server configuration here, Windows authentication mode, and we're going to add the current user. And then we're going to go next, and we're going to go next, and now we're going to go install. And then I'll let that install there now, and I will pause it, and I'll come back when that's completed. Okay, well, for those keen eyes observers, you would notice the clock had changed. So looks like it's completed on those installations there, green ticks all around. Perfect. Close this now, and we can close this. Now, we might remember in the installation, it said that it had to check for any updates, and it said there were none. And that just wasn't true. That was SP1, and there's actually Service Pack 3 available. So we'll run this install as well, because the SCCM installer is going to want the Service Pack 3 installed. Okay, once that has finished extracting, it should launch up. Okay, so we'll run its check. We'll go next. We're going to accept these license terms. Everything should be ticked already because we're just updating the existing features. And we'll go next. And we'll go update. Okay, so that update finished. Everything should be green and ticks. Yep. Let's close this now. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to install the ADK setup. So this is our it's a part of the deployment kit that SCCM installation will look for. You would use it for deploying out Windows Assessment Deployment Kit. We are going to just install it as the defaults. Don't worry about anything else. Accept. Now we're actually going to make a couple of changes into this. So we're just going to do Windows Deployment Tools, the PE, and the User State Migrations. We don't need the Performance Toolkit. Okay. And we'll go install there. While that's installing, we're going to go back to our installation here, and we're going to extract this. So we're going to extract it to the C drive. So just go unzip, and I'll let that run in the background there. And the last thing I'm going to do while we're waiting is I'm going to go to the Start menu, go down to our new apps installation, and I'm going to look for SQL. I'm going to open up the SQL Server Management Studio. There's an adjustment we need to make into here about the memory. It's something that will come up as part of the warning when we try and do the install for SCCM. Okay, inside our Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio, we're just going to go with the default authentication. So we should be able to connect there. Actually, no, I think we just right-click on the SCCM here. And we go down to Properties. I'm going to click on Memory here. And change this maximum server memory. We'll change the minimum and the maximum. So the minimum will change to 4096. I'll change the maximum to 4096. Even if you're running this on a box that doesn't have 4 gig of RAM, this will still be happy with that. I'm going to make this a bit smaller. There's an OK button there. So we'll apply that, and then we'll close that. Our SCCM installer has finished extracting. So we can close that now, and we're just waiting on the ADK install. So I'll jump back onto this once this is completed. Okay, once that's finished doing whatever it needs to do, we'll just close this here. And we're going to go, we've already extracted this out, so we can go to this PC, double click on the SQL drive, and we have our SCCM get folder here. So before we run the actual installation, I'm going to actually get you to go into the folder, and we're going to go into the SMS setup folder, go into bin, x64, and there will be a whole bunch of stuff here. We're actually going to look for a file called ext ADSCH. This basically just double checks that the schema for AD is going to be running okay. So we can right click on this and we'll go run as admin. Okay, perfect. If you want to have a look at what that did, there's the text document here, which you can open, and you can see that it's made all the verifications for it and it's successfully extended the schema. Alrighty, now for the main event. So you can double click on this splash here, this HTA file, and you run it with the application host. Okay, and we're going to click on the install link. Okay, we're going to go next. So we're going to install a configuration primary site. So we'll just go next. We're going to do an evaluation edition. Set the terms and conditions. We're going to tick all three terms for that, and we'll go next. Now, it will have some required files. Now, we are going to download them in here. If you already have them downloaded, you can point them to this folder here. So I'm going to browse, and I'm going to put them into a new folder on the desktop called SCCM downloads. Let's browse to that again. Just point to that because that's a new folder there. Next, and it's going to download a whole bunch of different files here, depending on your internet connection. If you are downloading this, I will put these files on the Dropbox as well, so you can point to that folder. Depending on the time you are doing this, there may be new versions available, so you may have to re-download them. So I'll let that run, and I'll be back with you shortly. Okay, once that's downloaded, we'll go next. All right. This is information that you would probably enter in for the SCCM plugin. So site code, this can be just like a 3-digit code or something like that. However, 3 letters and numbers if you like. For this one here, I will say PSE. And the site name, again, if you hover over this, it'll tell you that. Valid can contain no more than 99 characters and does not start or end with a space. So I'll go Jeff Pro Services SCCM. Okay, and the installation folder is fine, and I can choose to install the Configuration Manager console. So we'll go next. I am going to be doing this as a standalone site rather than installing this onto the existing hierarchy. So I've just install a standalone, yep. Can leave it all blank for that, leave that all as the defaults. Next. And then leave all those as the defaults. Now, this is important. So I haven't configured this for anything for HTTPS. So I'm actually going to say that the communication to each site system role, and then actually by having this and not ticking this, it defaults the communication to be HTTP. You can look at doing HTTPS for testing and stuff like that. I didn't find any benefit. Chances are you're doing this in a production environment. They've already got their SCCM set up properly. Okay, install the management point, install distribution point, that's all fine. Notice the client communication for this now is set to be HTTP. And we won't join the customer experience program. Okay, this should check to see if all of the different prereqs are set up. If this has been done correctly, we should probably only have about 3 warnings, but no errors. So WSUS on site server, don't need a Windows Software Update server. Firewall exceptions, you saw that when we did the SQL. and the SQL Server process, memory allocation, bits installed, bits enabled. Okay, we have a few extra ones there, but that's okay, because they're all warnings. It's not required for management point and distribution point. It's fine, but it's still enabled. So let's begin the installation. This will take a long time. So you might have noticed with a lot of these things here, I'll let this run and I'll come back to it once it's finished. Alrighty, so it's going to try and do a couple other bits and pieces, but we can actually close this install now. You can even see here, you can close the wizard now. So I'll close that. Restart may be required. So if the configuration manager console did not install, you can install that from here. You can double check to see if it did though or not. Go to the start menu. Alright. Come on. There we go, configuration manager console. We can open that up there. So we can close that and close that. I might just pin this to the taskbar here. And there you go. That is a clean SCCM server setup. Like from here, you can configure all the different other aspects if you wanted to. I will make another video here for using the SCCM plugin. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Any questions, please reach out to me on HipChat or via email.